MG, that's how we live. Okay, go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome, y'all. Welcome to another episode of 7 p.m. in Philly.
Right on time.
We back.
Right on time.
And this is a big episode. This is episode number 50. This is episode number 50, man. 50 big episodes that we have put out here. Bust you upside the head top. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure doing these 50 episodes. I'm glad, my dog Dwuan decided to join me in the second half of it. Yeah, and then we've been rolling ever since, man. I'll be honest with you, dog, if it wasn't for you, man, I don't know if we have 50 episodes right now, man. Dwuan is one of the people that holds me accountable, and we hold each other accountable, and we keep each other going. Nice. And it's just times that I drop the ball, Dwuan pick it up. There's times that Dwuan's just off and doing his own thing, and I pick it up. So it definitely makes it good for a good team right here. You know what I'm saying?
And not to mention, too, I think this is my 9th episode, to be exact, right now. So I'm already 9 episodes in, baby.
Yeah, right. It seems like you've been with me for a while.
For a minute, you do, yeah. I counted back. I was like, yo, it's my 9th time here.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I've been here for ever.
Yeah. You said 9, nigga. I don't think we going on 50. You know what I'm saying? Like,
y'all done a lot without me.
Y'all
done a lot, bro. Y'all did a lot.
It's crazy that it feels like it, but it doesn't feel like it.
I know what
I'm saying? Because I feel like we've accomplished so much in so short of time, and we've done so much in a short span of time that it's kind of like
we really have.
Yeah,
it's like the moment I felt like I came on board, it was just like we would get an episode going. Okay, what's the next one?
Let's go.
Okay, what's the next one? All right, what's doing this? All right, let's team up with X.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
You just be getting shit, bro. Could you imagine if there was like at least 2 more of us?
Oh, it'll be crazy.
What?
It'll be crazy, man. It'll be crazy.
Empire.
But I'll definitely say, man, it's been a fucking journey. Like 50 episodes, and here's the thing, man. Like I read that statistics on like YouTube and like online and shit like that. It was saying that most podcasts don't make it past episode like 3 or 4.
Really?
They're not able to redo it because people don't understand, like, this shit takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It takes time. And like, and a lot of things that I've been blessed to be able to have a house that's big enough to be able to dedicate a spot in it to be able to do the pod. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not able to do that. A lot of people, they got to rent out space to go out to do it, and they got to travel distances. They got to line it up. The place got to be available, and it's costly, and a lot of people are not able to afford it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it takes a lot. A lot of people just think that, you just get behind the mic and you just talk. Nah,
you gotta know what you're talking about too.
Nah, bro.
Even for those kind of podcasters that kind of just ramble and really good at just rambling.
Yeah.
There still has to be some format with that.
Absolutely.
So like you said, it's definitely an art and a skill with communication.
For sure.
Just knowing how to communicate, stuff like that, and delivery and stuff like that as well.
For sure, man. But it's definitely been a journey, and I'm happy to be here, man. And there's one thing I'll say: there's never been a time I got on the pod and then I was like, I don't want to do this. As soon as that mic turns on, as soon as we do sound check, it's like, oh, all right, let's do this. Yeah. Like, I'm happy. And
it's because this shit is fun, low key.
Yeah,
I feel like we're very expressive dudes. Yeah. So it's naturally just fun to just be able to talk.
Right.
But then to also just have a brotherhood and just be able to talk common sense, jokingly.
Right.
Just to be able to have this kind of space is just what it's meant to be. So it's fun too, bro. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Nah. So let me ask you some questions.
For sure.
I don't know if you have any questions for me, but since this is our pod, but I'm 9 episodes in. You already had 50. You know what I mean? Right, with that being said, I got questions for you.
For sure. Go ahead, bro.
So the first one I want to ask is, what's the origin story behind 7 p.m. in Philly? What's the name, and then what were your thoughts leading up into like, oh shit, I'm about to actually create a podcast?
How it all initially started is that I have great conversation. Like we talk behind the scenes, and we have great conversations behind the scenes. Some of the stuff that we can't talk, in front of the camera, but we have great conversation off camera. And I have a lot of friends. I have a big group of friends. It's like 14, 15 of us, like solid, and we travel together. We just sit, and when you travel with this much people, you have to talk. You have to be able to, have multiple conversations and talk about life. And, since there's so many of us, every person that I speak to never had the same story. Everyone has different stories. So, and it would be just great conversation. And I would always say, like, man, I wish we had a show. I wish people would be able to follow us around with camera, because we're entertaining. Like it does and literally anywhere we go, people always like, yo, you guys are so cool. Man, you guys have been friends since like you guys were little. So it's always been that. So I was like, you know what? I want to start something, but I didn't know what to start and how to start it. And then, I seen things like podcasts and people sitting down and talking about their ideas and stuff like that. And then, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna try to start a pod. I'm gonna do this. But it was hard. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to start. So I watched a lot of YouTube. I sat down with my homie Ray. Ray's the one that kind of like, he was one of the folks that was just kind of like, yo, do this.
Shout out Ray.
Like, yeah, Ray's my dog. That's my brother. He's the one that came in and did this with me. Like, he got me started with as far as like, yo, hey, you're going to get the equipment. And I did my research. I watched umpteens amount of YouTube and I got the equipment. And then Ray was like, all right, yo, we're just going to take pictures. We're just going to take pictures in the studio, whatever. And it's kind of like, and you'll see some of the old pictures. You'll see some of the old pictures that I had with the old setup and the old lighting and everything like that. Like, it was just tough.
Humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings for sure. Like,
yeah.
I'm talking into the mic, but there's nothing connected to it. So you could clearly tell I'm bluffing in the picture. Like, it was just like a very low budget photo shoot. So we end up doing that. Coming up with the name, I struggled with it, and I was just kind of like, I didn't want something generic. I didn't want Potting with Steve, or I wanted something that meant something to me that came from a place of, okay, this is something like I created. I really thought about it. I gave it thought, and a lot of people were just like, no, just come up with a name. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. Blah 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 blah. Just come up with a name. So I was like, you know what? Let me start off with music. I'm a heavy music guy. And I started out with Jay-Z. Jay-Z's one of my favorite artists. So I was like, you know what? Let me start with Jay-Z. Let me see something, that I can come up with, whatever. And I was thinking about like, the Blueprint with Steve or something like that, or something with the Blueprint, whatever.
I was gonna say,
it's on the wall.
Yeah,
something with the Blueprint. And I was deciding like, it just didn't feel right. And then my next favorite artist was Drake. And I was just like, all right, well, Drake always has these timestamps. Like, he'll be like 5 p.m. I mean, like, 8 a.m. in Charlotte, or, you know what I mean? Like, he'll have these timestamps of songs. So I was like,
It's
all
tough.
right.
It's true, though. It's true.
I was like, all right. I got a base. I'm gonna do a timestamp, but I was like, I don't know what time. At first, I was like 6 p.m., but I was like, nah, it don't ring. Yeah. And I was just like, all right. And I was just like, what's the time that people come home and they sit down at the dinner table and they eat? Black people, not whites, not my whites.
Because they had 5.
They had 5, maybe 4.
Yeah,
I mean, they eating this supper. You know what I'm saying? So, so I was just like, what time do black folks normally get home from work after, having good conversation and sit down behind the table and eat with their family and have a great conversation? I was like, 7 p.m. 7 p.m.
Sound about right.
And then I was like, where am I? I'm in Philly. So it was like, I used how Drake does like his timestamps to where he's at. And the time, and for
that
me,
makes
it's
sense.
and the time that people sit down and have great conversations. So I went with 7 p.m. in Philly, and I stuck with it. I shopped it around. I was just like, yo, sending it to my friends that was like, yo, I like that. I think that's cool. And once I explained to them what it was about, they was like, oh, I fucks with it.
Yeah.
And
it has a perfect ring. 7 p.m. in Philly just sounds perfect.
Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah. It sounded so good. Somebody stole the name.
You might as well go on and tell
Someone stole the name.
I don't know if you want to talk about it.
So I've been in this game for...
They might see this.
Maybe. They do. You know what I'm saying?
Shots fired.
Yeah. So I've been in the game for a while. I've been in the game... it's been 3-4 years now, I'm in 3 years or so, 3 to 4 years now. I don't know. I lose track.
Okay.
And I know I came up with the name 7 p.m. in Philly. I know, that's my name. Like, I looked, because you have to go through YouTube and look because I got the LLC, I got all this stuff. That's me. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yo, and you scour the internet to see if anyone has the name. I did that. Nobody had the name. No one had the name, not even close to the name. So I was just kind of like, it's all good. So the one day I'm chilling, I think I was at the gym, or I was going for a run, and one of my homies sent me a picture, and it was my dog Remy. Remy sends me a article or a picture, and what do I see? It's Carmelo Anthony and Mero from Jesus and Mero, and they're starting a pod. And I was like, oh, cool. And then when I look down, I see the name. It's 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. And I'm just kind of like, come on, man.
Did you look? And it was like, oh, that sounds.
Because the thing is, it's kind of like, all right, at the end of the day, like, I'm not the biggest brand. Like, I don't have 1 million followers. Like, I mean, like, my videos don't go crazy viral or anything like that. I mean, I do a couple of thousand, whatever. Some episodes don't even see more than 80 people. So in my mind, I was just kind of like, maybe they didn't see it, or maybe they did. But in my hearts of hearts, them motherfuckers stole that shit.
Absolutely.
They definitely, because they have to. You have to, in order. Cause when we break it down, in order for you to create a name, you have to search. You have to do your search. In order for you to create an LLC, you have to do the search. And when you do the search, you clearly see. As soon as you type in 7 p.m. in, boom. Philly comes up. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's the name. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like they definitely took the idea. They definitely stole the name. And like, whatever. Like, I'm not mad about it. I was mad about it at first, but I was like, oh, you know what? I'm flattered, because I'm just kind of like, at the end of the day, these guys, little old me, and they took the name. You know what I mean? They took the name
from the Philly Bowl.
You know what I mean? From the Philly Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Got mad influence.
You know what I mean?
Clearly. You know what I mean?
So I was just kind of like, I was tight at first, and I was just kind of like, you know what? Fuck these dudes, whatever. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day,
maybe we'll have them on the show one day.
Hey, man, I would love
get them on the show.
I would love to have Mello and Mello on the show, man. It would be dope, man. It would be dope. And we can talk about it and be like, yo, Mello, who came up with the name, bro? Like, where'd y'all get the name from? Was it you, your assistant?
Yeah, let's iron out the details.
You know what I'm saying? Let's iron out the details how this came about, man. Perfect. But I would love that. But definitely shout out to them, man. They're creators also, and they're doing their thing. And for me, I felt flattered that someone looked at the name and made it identical, because people have come up to me and be like, yo, this is 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Is it an extension from that? And I'm just like, nah, I came up with the name first, bro. Look at the timestamps. Look at the timestamp. Go back, because that's the thing. YouTube don't lie. Go back to YouTube and type in and go to my first episode, and you can see me sitting in this couch by myself, chatting it up, looking mad awkward.
Or I think if you click about, it'll tell you when you actually started your account and when that first episode was. So even if you click in the about button in your YouTube channel, boom, it'll let you know, like, oh, you started this account, such and such.
For sure.
Absolutely, that as well.
Yeah. So,
but being that you're not afraid to open up, clearly, let me ask you this. Have you ever, leading up to you starting the podcast, did you have any fears when it came? Because you're a sociable guy.
Right.
You seem like you could talk to a dead person.
Right.
You could talk to a corpse.
Right.
Did you ever have any fears of like, okay, because everyone, for us content creators, we know when that camera comes on, we lighten up, we get ready. But for other people, the moment they know that camera's on, they get shy, they get awkward, they start to freeze up. Did you have any early stages of that?
Yes and no, because before I actually filmed my first episode, I sat here and I just talked into the mic, and I would just look at the camera and all that, and I would just like play scenarios in my head and stuff like that. And I would like, my kids, my son would be down here, and and we would just sit down and have conversations. We would all talk. We would just have like, and I would sit down and play with the camera and do certain things and just kind of like formulate it in my head. Even like in the beginning, I would be in the shower. Because my first episode, I'm by myself. I'm talking by myself and talking into the camera. So I don't have anybody to bounce conversation off with. So you got to kind of like, and I don't have anything written down. I didn't write anything down.
My man was literally off the dome.
Everything that you've seen from any episode that I've by myself, and I don't think I only have a few that I've by myself, it's off the dome. I've never written anything down.
So you really are just a vlogger. You just straight vlog that shit.
Right. I straight freestyled it, and it turned out pretty good. Like if you go back and watch the first 2 episodes, they turned out pretty good. There's some episodes that are terrible, they're cringy, and it's like blurry and shit like that. But I never really got. I was nervous because I didn't want to mess up, and I didn't want to deliver poor content. And not be relatable to people. But I was never nervous about like the speaking aspect of it, because one thing that I understand is that I'm not live. I can go back and edit. I didn't want to edit because during that time I didn't know how to edit.
so you was fighting.
It was like, yo, I was like Hove behind the camera. I wanted one take. That's it. One take. Hove.
It gotta be one take.
It's gotta be one take. There was no going back.
Then you got the fuck. Let me fix this.
Nah. There was none of that, because at the end of the day, I didn't know how to edit until Scooter came along.
Got you.
Scooter's the one that really showed me how to edit. And then, like, I mean, even still to this day, I'm not the best editor. I mean, but Scoot's the one that helped me how to edit. So shout out to him. But what I realized, I was never really nervous to talk, be behind the camera, because I understood that I can edit it out. So.
Got you. Good. Real stuff. Let me ask you this. What's up? Based off what you know now, all the experience that you know now about a podcast, is there anything that you would have done differently before starting?
Nah. No, because at the end of the day, I felt like I made all the mistakes. I felt like it, and that's the beauty of it. And that's why, like, it's so, like, when I tell you, like, the 50th episode right now, it hits because I went through the bullshit. I went through the sleepless nights of being here, trying to adjust the camera, the lighting, the audio system, watching umpteen hours of YouTube and trying to and recording a full episode. I've done a full episode by myself and the memory card wasn't in. And I had to do it all over again. And I spoke
That's crazy.
I spoke for 30 minutes straight, 40 minutes straight.
Probably was a good take too. It's usually the best take.
It was great.
Usually the best
It
take.
was great.
Yeah.
But there was nothing there.
No card.
There was no card. And it sucked and it hurt and I had to go through it and I was frustrated, but I didn't let it stop me.
Sure.
I didn't let it stop me. And I'm happy of the journey. Like, cause when you go through this shit and you build it piece by piece, like, this pod is my baby. Like, I don't give a fuck if nobody watches it. I don't give a fuck if 5 people watch it. Like, it's my baby. When you build something on your own and you do it from the muscle, bro, you have a certain appreciation for it.
It's a bar.
It hits different,
Absolutely.
bro, because it's kind of like, I'm happy to do it because I built it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't bother me if people don't watch, because it's like, I enjoy this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's different, like, had I went to a studio and they had a camera and I was podding and I was doing that, it'll hit different. I don't think I would love it as much because I didn't build this. I'm just going there. It was handed to me. This wasn't handed to me. Everything that's here behind the scenes, all that furniture and all that, I built that piece by piece. Everything that's on the walls, the cameras, everything, I built that piece by piece. So that's why, like, I enjoyed the whole journey of building this. And that's why, for me, I built something that I'll never stop doing because it's from me. You know what I'm saying? It's from my heart and from my soul.
And that's beautiful, because I think most people, or at least a lot of people that I know who have built something, they wanted to either go viral, they wanted to, take them to the next level, and they're missing out the main part is that the enjoyment of building it, creating something, like you said, whether 5, 8, 10 people watch it, you enjoy watching it.
For sure.
And I think Kanye West even said that. Kanye West was like, I don't care if people don't like my music. I like my music.
Right.
And you can tell by the way he bop his head to his music.
Right, for sure.
He love his music.
Like, he love his
no matter
music.
what.
Nah, facts.
So
Real
that's
shit.
a beautiful trait to have. And I think that will stick with you forever. And it will always be fun for that.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it, man, and I thoroughly love it, man. And it's not like, in the beginning, like, I was chasing numbers. I wanted people to watch my shit, and I still want people to watch my shit. Watch my shit. You know what I'm saying? But what I come to realize, like, it's not about the numbers. It's about, like, doing what feels good to you and doing what makes you happy. And I think that, and that plays a part of other things, other aspects of my life, is that do the things that make you happy, and whatever you want will come along with it. But just, and people can tell, like, yo, if this is natural, this comes natural to him. Like, this is authentic. This is not just some rinky dink shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's built this from the muscle. When people pull up here and they see what the studio looks like, they're like, oh shit, like, this is a legit studio. This is a legit thing. Like, this is not just some cameras and lights that he put together and he just has it in his basement. Like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? So, for me, like, that's what makes me happy on doing this pod, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real. I mean, I got tons of questions for you. You got anything for me or not?
So my question for you is like, when I first asked you to pull up here, like what was your first thought? Like, yo, I'm about to go do this pod, like, cause I didn't ask you to be a part of the pod at first. You just pulled up here just cause it was like Zach wanted us to meet with each other because he thought we would be a great fit or whatever. So like, what was your first idea when you first got here? And was that like, oh, like this?
I immediately saw the vision. I think the moment I obviously talked and spoke with you. We people read, right? Where we come from, we people read. So we read
for sure.
We read each other's body language, how our mannerisms. But the whole time, I'm connecting and seeing if we could be a good fit, communicating.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that might not be it. Sometimes we could just be cool with just dapping up and chilling. But then when you put the camera on, that may not be the bro for that. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But the more we started talking and communicating, and just our styles of how we communicate is very similar. So I immediately saw the vision, and once you explained the vision, I immediately was like, okay, cool. Whether I know I would be a great asset just because I know what I could bring. However, whether I'm there or not, however I could, even if you needed to be, need me to be the light man, the cameraman, or just dust some shit before you start, I'm cool with that. Right. So I just saw the vision that you saw, and I loved it. So I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. So when you asked me to be a part of it, I was even more flattered. I was like, oh shit, like we really about to do this. Yeah. Okay, cool. Say that, and it's bro ever since. Yeah, nah, it was because it was like a perfect storm because during that time, because prior to that, G was was here. And then G went off to do her thing. Yeah, because I thought it was supposed to be a three person thing. Yes, you wanted a male perspective. Yes, so it was you as a woman's perspective, and then me. Yes, so that's why and then you was like, okay, it's gonna be us two. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Right, whatever happened. I wanted G here, or whatever, but she went off to do her own thing and went on her own journey, and I was just kind of like, all right, cool. And then Scooter left. And I was just kind of like, all right, I'm back at square one. I'm out right now. Like, I'm really by myself. And I just didn't want, I had certain people that reached out and was like, yo, I'll do it, whatever. But like, I was just like, I pride myself on having this podcast and bringing the best of the best. And like, and I just was like, I don't want to just cop out and just get anybody and bring anybody on. Right. So that could change the chemistry and the dynamic of what your vision is. For sure. So I appreciate you for sticking to that vision. Yeah. And I didn't want a watered down version of the pod because I felt like we were so successful. We've been so good with the content and everything we were doing. We were just like going this way. And I didn't want to, I didn't want to go down. I wanted to keep going up. And it just so happened that I met Zach through Dane or whatever, and like he watched the podcast, he's seen certain things and he enjoyed it, and he reached out to me, and it was just like weird, and I was just kind of like, cool, and then we started talking about you, and he was like, yo, I think you'll love him, whatever, and like, when people be like, oh yeah, you'll like this guy, whatever, I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I'll wait till I see him. Let me be the judge. Yeah. So, but then when we met, we spoke, we sat down, we spoke or whatever, we just had great conversation, and then we did the first episode, and I was like, damn, this shit felt good. That shit was solid. Yeah, that shit was solid. Felt great. Yeah, it was. And I was just like, you know what? Let me ask. I mean, if I don't, if you don't ask, then you'll never know. And I asked, and you were just like, hell yeah. Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And we've just been rocking ever since, man. We just been rocking ever since, bro. Tough. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it was good. So being that we 9 episodes in now, right? So we've had some time together. Have you noticed any improvements in me and as vice versa? Or if there were any. Yes. So I do certain things. I like to because I know like I can lead an episode. I know that I can do that. Yeah. So that's why the one episode when X was here, I was like, yo, you lead that episte. I was not ready for that too. Right. Like, and I was like, yo, you know what? Because my thing is just kind of like what I want. Yes, I created this podcast, but I wanted us to be equals. I want us to be, just because like it's my podcast and it doesn't mean that you can't lead an episode. Sure. That doesn't mean it's not your podcast too. You know what I'm saying? Like we're equals at this. So for me, it was just kind of like, you know what? I don't want to lead off this episode. I don't want to run through the episode or whatever. You're gonna navigate through this episode. And I was just like, yo, go ahead, bro. You do that, and you did a great job with it. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. I can tell that you were nervous doing it. Yeah, yes, I can tell you was nervous doing it. But hopefully y'all can tell. Hopefully y'all can tell, but they could tell. But you did it great, man. You did a great job, and it turned out to be a great episode, man. Like there's nothing
that I can pinpoint and be like, yo, Dwuan don't do that well. Like, I mean, I just think like you're a natural and you come in and you just, you know what, I'm gonna do it and we're gonna handle business. And you never like, one thing about you never come in and there's never like, damn man, I don't feel like doing this. Damn man. That's the reason I have people on my team is that they believe in the vision.
Absolutely.
They believe. You can't
They have
you
to.
can't have people on your team that don't believe in your vision.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I have people on my team and they never asked for a red cent because we're not there yet. They understand like, yo, we haven't got there yet. We're working towards getting there, but we haven't gotten there yet. When we get there, we'll get there. And they still, yo, Remy, do you need to do? Remy does it. Yo, Scoot, Dwuan, me. I mean, and the list goes on, and anybody else, Zach, boom. I mean, like, everybody's always helped out, and everybody's always seen the vision. And it's like one thing that I would always have love for you. You've always seen the vision, and immediately, and you never questioned it. You were just kind of like, yo, we're going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to go where we're going to go, and we're going to see how it goes.
Absolutely. Yeah, my mentality is always just, again, if it's not my time or turn to take the lead, I have no problems being of service to my brother. Yeah. You just have to have the vision. Right. And as long as I can understand, and now we're on the same page of what that vision is, I can fully support you as well as be of service to you. But there's many times I've been in a position where I try to serve somebody and they didn't know the vision. And now we both looking stupid. Right. You know what I'm saying? Sure. But I even appreciate you for this this is your podcast. And you let me come in, you let me do my thing, and be a part and, add my, my little flair to it. But I love that you do make it feel like you the boss man, but you don't make it feel like you the boss man. Like you said, it's equal, it's balanced. So I always appreciate that for you, sure. From you too as well, bro. Yeah, for sure, man. I never want people to, because that's one thing when I go to work, like I know I'm not the boss. And the one thing about my job now, I don't feel like I'm not the boss, but I've had that feeling of feeling like I'm not the boss and always being like, yo, I'm the boss, do this, do that, whatever. I would never want to be that person. Like we all know where we got a goal to reach and we know what we got to do. Yeah. We're not children here. Yeah. Let's try to get to that goal. I don't have to tell you like, hey guys, we got to do this. Like, nah, because there's sometimes that you hit me and be like, yo, bro, we shooting today? What we doing? Yeah. Are we doing this What's
today?
What's up, bro? Coming to Philly? What's going on?
Right.
What's up?
Right.
We doing this?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So there's sometimes, but that's what it is, man. So I don't never have to do that because we all know that we got a job to do and we got goals. We got things that we got places that we want to go. And we got visions that we're inspired to see, to bring to fruition. Yeah.
And we got some good things in store too for the summertime. Man.
Oh yeah,
we ain't gonna drop nothing crazy. We ain't gonna say no, but we really got some good stuff in store for you guys.
We gonna cook up.
I can't wait for the summer.
We gonna cook up.
We gonna have to switch the podcast for the summertime to like just summertime in Philly.
Oh yeah,
and it can't even be 7 p.m. It's just gonna be summertime in Philly.
It's gonna be summertime
in Philly.
Summertime in Philly. You know what I'm saying? We gotta shoot an episode on the roof. We gotta do one by X.
Yeah, bro.
You mean we got some
Philly,
fun things.
Philly, stay ready for us. Yeah. Stay ready for us.
Yeah. And we got the World Cup coming to Philly. Yeah. And all that. So Philly's gonna be booming this summer. So we have to capitalize.
Absolutely. We will. We mic'd up now. We mic'd up now.
Right. We would be doing ourselves a big disservice if we don't try to capitalize with everything that's going on in Philly, especially this spring and this summer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So yeah, for sure.
So let me ask you this: what would you say was our favorite or our funniest episode together?
Funniest episode.
I already got mine.
It's gotta be the white people, the white.
Oh, okay. I forgot that was the sayings.
The sayings. Like,
okay.
I think that's one of my favorite episodes because we just kind of like, you know what?
Damn, I forgot that.
We wrote it down, but we freestyled it. Like we didn't write any ideas down. Yeah. I just thought it was just funny, like the white people sayings, like cut the malarkey, like you know what I'm saying. Like it was a great and I think it resonated to a lot of people. I think they enjoyed it. I mean,
mine was the music. So that originally that should be the first one. Yeah. That should be my first one as well. Yeah. But I wasn't thinking of that one. The music one. We went down white people's music. That one was fun because we just started singing. We spent the most time just singing and humming all these songs.
Singing all these songs. Yeah, it was good. That definitely was a good one.
Yeah.
What do you think is the toughest part for you being on the pod? Like, what do you think what's challenging for you?
I mean, luckily, I feel like I've never been in a position where we spoke about something that I wasn't informed in.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I was raised and just the way I am, I don't speak on things I'm not really familiar with.
Same.
Yeah, because that's what a fool does. So for me, I mean, you'll just have me here for nothing.
Right.
I'll just be agreeing and be like, oh yeah, all right.
Right.
Let me go do my research on that. You know. But I would assume that would be a challenging part for me if we're on a podcast or other podcasts, or if there was a particular topic that I just didn't know. How can I navigate through that without just sitting and shaking my head like yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Damn, that's a good question. I would say that as of right now.
Okay.
And then maybe if we get to a point when we get to a point when we start touring, when we start traveling around the country, and we got a live studio, we got a live audience, and we're doing this in front of people. Yeah. I could imagine I might be a little nervous.
Yeah.
Gotta get used to it. Yeah. What about you?
For me is trying my best to be my authentic self.
What?
Dog, we talked about this off camera. I feel like I can. Y'all see Steve, but it's toned down a little bit. Like I turned the notch down. I mean, I can't go full Kanye West on y'all, dog. Like So I feel like for me, it's just kind of like
we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
If we was on Joe Rogan status, we could probably all right, this is what we said earlier before the podcast. I said, if I could really say what I was thinking, y'all would have to probably throw me in the grave somewhere. Like they would have to we gotta get rid of him. He can't even be around.
Right.
But yeah, so is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Like if we could really talk our talk without, lawsuits or potential people knocking on the door.
The thing is, I got a 9 to 5, bro. Like I got jobs. We got jobs. We got people. Like so at the end of the day, it's like I say something crazy. People gonna find out where I work at, and then they're gonna get back to my boss, and my boss is gonna be like, "Yo, is this you?" And and I got bills to pay, bro.
It's hard out here.
I got bills to pay, bro. I got bills to pay, fam. So at the end of the day, like I can't be just talking off the cuff. I still gotta be like politically correct. You know what I'm saying? I gotta still be conscious of people's feelings and say things in a proper way, in a proper manner. So therefore,
you know what we should do then? When we get to a point where money don't matter, bosses and jobs don't matter, we should either do this or start a Patreon as well, because I hear people be like,
"Oh, for sure,
go follow me on Patreon." You could really say stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, if we get to a point where money, finances, boss, and all that stuff don't matter, oh yeah, we talking crazy. Like y'all gonna really get to know how we talk behind the camera. Oh yeah, we keeping it real professional right here.
Y'all will see how I really talk, because my girl knows how I talk. She'd be like, "Babe,"
and so does mine.
And I'd be like, "Yo,"
Ashley be like, "You're gonna get canceled." Right. Like, they can't cancel me.
Yeah, cancel these nuts.
Yeah, they can't get the shit over here. What? Yeah, watch.
You know what I'm saying?
Watch.
So yeah, she knows. She'd be like, "Babe, yo, crazy." I'm like, "Yo, this is how I feel, man." Like,
freedom of speech, babe. Freedom of speech.
Right. So I think that's the one thing that that holds me back from being my true authentic self on the pod. Like, but I am real, but I know I could be realer.
I know what you
know what I'm saying? Like, you mean? So but that's about it. Other than that, I don't get nervous on talk, and I pride myself on being my authentic self, as authentic as I can be, and talking about real stuff and real issues and real topics, and being genuine and speaking from the heart.
That's a fact. I could vouch for you for that. Absolutely. Yeah. Being that we have such a job where we're just speaking, have you ever had any like regretful moments? Have you ever said something that you was like, "Ooh, I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should wait"? Or are you just a person that tends to be like, "Man, I gotta be careful what I say"?
I mean, I think about what I say, and I'm conscious of that. So I don't really have like any moments that I'm like, I shouldn't have said that.
Okay, that's good.
Like,
it's good.
Because my thing is just kind of like, I understand the platform. I understand what words can do and what words carry. So I'm always very and I'm sure as more and more episodes go by, I'm sure I'm bound to say something crazy that's not right or that's insensitive or whatever. I'm sure that's gonna happen. But like, I try to be super, super, super conscious of what I say, how I say it, and who I say it to. Because at the end of the day, I do understand people have feelings, and I understand that words carry power.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I
You know
agree.
what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah. What about you? Have you have you been on the, not even on the pod, like, because you've done things prior to this. Have you ever had a moment where you said something and be like, because you be on TikTok lives, you be doing all your videos and all that, and you be having like your self-reflections and all that, and you be getting deep and you be saying stuff like, you know, especially when you talk about like church and all that. Like, because you be going in on the church.
Yeah.
Have you had a moment where it's kind of like, damn, I went too crazy?
No. I'll answer it straight up. No, I don't think I'm like that, but I will say, being that I'm aware that my context of how I speak is very punchy. It's just to the point. It's very raw. I don't like to fluff things up. I'm not gonna butter you up to bake you. No, we're just gonna jump in the fire.
Right.
But no, I just think my approach is exactly what it is, and I do feel like you said prior, and like we said prior, that once our platform grows even bigger, I do understand that I have a mission that God has given me to do, to speak to the church due to my experiences, and also regarding family.
Right.
And so I'm cautious of what I'm saying now, because I know there is a certain point where my voice is going to be bigger. God's going to use my voice to be very bigger, to be much bigger and be used bigger. And it's going to offend a lot of people. It's going to disrupt a lot of people's peace and delusion. And it's going to bring some people that's going to be very upset with what I have to say. But it's my experience. It's a lot of people who I've been around, their experiences. And it's just, I think we're in a new era where people have the right to share their experiences just because, you know, it's covered by the church or if it's covered by family. Everyone has a right to share their story. And there's a lot of people I know that's in the grave now, and they didn't get a chance to share their story, but they shared it with me in their last moments. So it would be doing them a disservice as well as myself if I didn't share these stories and putting them out there to bring, you know, guidance and awareness. So no, I'm silent now. People think I'm look at your face. I'm silent now because I think a time will come where the voice is going to get much bigger.
No, I know, and I'll see you on Instagram, and I'll see you on TikTok, and you're just kind of like voicing your opinion and all that, and I applaud you for that, because at the end of the day, like, I feel like when it comes to church, it's one of those things. It's kind of like politics. It's like politics.
It is politics.
It's politics in this church.
It's very political.
Like 1A, 1B. You know what I'm saying? It all. I mean, so for me, a lot of people refrain on speaking on it, especially like the negative side behind it. Every time someone speaks on church, it's always like, oh my God, like, you know, this is great and God and this and that. But never anyone has never, not to say never, but anytime someone does speak negative about the church and all the negative side about church, they try to silence them, or they try to picture them, paint them as being crazy. And so I applaud you for always being like, you know what? I've gone to church. This is one side of it, and here's the other side, and this is how it has affected me. Sure, I mean, so I definitely applaud you for that, because not a lot of people have the strength to actually go up there and do that and speak on it, because everybody it's just the fluff. It's just like, you know what?
We're just afraid too. I think, and maybe you may even understand, but when you start to use your voice, right? Would you allow God, and again, this isn't to be like Christian or spiritual, it has nothing to do with religion, but I believe in God, right? So when you realize that you have a bigger purpose and that your voice is that tool that God is going to use, you have to be very cautious and careful of how you say things, because like you said earlier very well, we're not here to hurt feelings. My objective isn't to hurt your feelings. I'm not a cruel person. I'm actually very sensitive of people's feelings. However, the message must be delivered.
For sure.
If you take offense to it, that's something that you may have to dissect. Don't be so quick to, again, kill the messenger. That may be something you might need to dissect. So, I think, if you have a bigger purpose, no matter what your purpose is, not even just in this regard, we're speaking about talking, but no matter what your purpose is, and you know it's going to be used, you got to be ready for people to ridicule you, to shame you, because people are afraid to do what you're called to do.
And I completely agree with that. And especially and it's important that you speak on how you feel about the church, because I feel like now more than ever, church is being weaponized. It's being used as this like political thing, to where it's like, God wants you to do this, God wants you to do that. And I feel like at the end of the day, like, we don't speak enough to where it's like, God's not asking you to be an evil person. God's not asking you to do all these bad things to other people. God is forever loving, forever forgiving, all that stuff. But that's not what the church is being useful for. Church is being used to belittle people, to make people feel small, to justify the atrocities that other people are doing to each other and be like, oh, well, God would want that. And it's kind of like, that's not the basis of it.
I mean, the simple fact that you'll hear even people say, like, they would assume that God would pick a side between Palestine and Israel. The simple fact that you even thought that was even a thing.
Right.
You thought that it would. You think that he think it's okay to choose a side on who's getting smited, who's getting bombed. Like, are you like, you know what I'm saying? That just shows the mentality though of how far we are. So again, absolutely.
I agree.
Bro.
War is not God, bro. War is not God. And that's why I hate, like, when I watch the news and they're doing all this, like they're bringing, God-given troops and they're going to do it. Bruh, war is not God, bro.
Yep.
War is not. So stop using God as your tool to justify you going over there, getting people killed and killing people.
And let's just keep it real, for all capitalistic gain too.
Absolutely.
That's really all it comes down to.
Absolutely.
All this going on with this war, rumors of war, all this stuff is for capitalistic gain.
Absolutely.
So
let's
for another episode.
That's another episode.
Another episode. But my last category are visions and goals. Now this is all about truly manifesting. So not just speaking of the goals, but truly envisioning and using this moment to envision where do you really see this podcast going? Like let's take it as far as we can take it. Where do you see this bad boy going? I'll let you start it off.
There's so many levels to it, man, and I think of it all the time, man. I really sit back in my bed and just kind of like, I would love for this podcast to be.
Don't say would love. Remember, manifest. So
okay,
what is to come?
This podcast is going to be.
Confirm it.
What I think this podcast is going to be, and what this podcast is going to be, it's going to be a platform where Philadelphia artists will come and showcase their talents. It's going to be a podcast that regular people are going to come and talk about their feelings, and what their community look like, what's happening in their community. This is going to be a podcast where big artists, worldwide known artists, are going to come and talk about what's happening in the community. How do they feel? I don't want to talk about their music. I don't want to talk about their stardom and all that. Yeah, we can do that, but at the end of the day, the reality of the matter is that real things are happening and people are affected. And these worldwide stars have a power. They have a duty to talk about these things, regardless whether they do something about it, but they have a duty to talk about these things. And I feel like a lot of podcasts do not do that. They don't bring on big artists to talk about the real stuff. They talk about, okay, what's going on in their hood, but what about what you see on the news? How do you feel about that? Well, how can the youth do better? How can, what do you want to do? What's your vision? Like, real topics, real things, because at the end of the day, when it all boils down, all that stardom and all that stuff, once you're gone, it means nothing. Everything is built on impact. What impact do you have on this world, on this earth, before you expire? And for me, I created this podcast to be an impact, to be a voice for the people who are voiceless. And at the end of the day, yes, this podcast is not as big as it's gonna be, but at the end of the day, like when you look back at this podcast, we've been doing people a service. We've brought on local artists. We've talked about local things. We've shared the communities. I mean, we've talked about a community. We've uplifted our communities. We talked about love. We talked about vulnerability. We talked about men's health. Like, we talk about so many things that people are afraid to talk about. We've been vulnerable with each other. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, we've talked about body shaming. We talked about men's body shaming. We've talked about like vulnerability as a man. Like, we've talked about so much to where it's just kind of like no one could ever come to me and be like, you know what, this podcast is about self.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah,
No. It's about us. Us. 7 p.m. in Philly. I mean, it's about Philly. And at the end of the day, that's what I'll continue to have this podcast about. Yeah, we'll have fun. We'll joke around. We'll do that because that's what life is about. This podcast is about life. Yes, it's going to be ups and it's going to be downs. We're going to laugh. We're going to have fun. We're going to joke around. We're going to share candy. We're going to do Halloween. We're going to do all that shit. But at the end of the day, the core crust of this podcast, it's about us. So
yeah, you give me like you're very a community-based kind of person. based off of what I know about you, based on the stories that you told me, like you're very communicative. Like you love community very well. And ironically, I'm the same. Yeah. And I think putting that together in a podcast format, this is going to go very far when it comes to community. Right. So everything that you said, I back you on that. Yeah, where I see this podcast going is even starting locally, we'll have tons of call-ins. We're going to create that next step where we want people to call in with questions, thoughts, ask us whatever you think and stuff like that. Then I see us touring. I literally see us like, be ready, bro. We finna start traveling. We're going to be taking this. And I think to me, that will be the big realizing moment for me, at least, to be like, yo, we really was in my man's studio in his house. Yeah. And now we're literally touring around the country with a live audience and people cheering when we come out on stage and stand at the desk and start talking. I don't know. I just think that's going to be the real pivotal moment. Like, we here. Right. And then obviously we're going to capitalize when I think, again, like you said, all variations of celebrities and popular people and people of influence that are also coming on. And yeah, we can hee-haw and laugh and joke, but what's the message? For sure. When we get real artists, I want artists to really feel like, yo, you pulled something out of me that no other interviewer or no other guest podcast have ever done. I want them to share things that they've never shared to anyone before. And I feel like I'm good at that because I've interviewed other people and they all have said that, like, I ain't never shared stuff that deep in my life. I didn't think I was going to do that. I don't know why, but I feel like I have a gift to do that. Yeah. Us as a podcast, it's up, bro. Yeah. It's up. And I want this to be a cultural thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like cultural, like, I feel like when black people rock with us, in general, when black people rock with something, when black people fuck with you, they fuck with you. For sure. And when they fuck with you, the world ends up fucking with you because we're a power of influence. Sure. So once we become a cultural phenomenon, the world's going to know your name. Yeah.
And, and one of the things I always think about and I always talk about is kind of like make shit like this cool. Like, I feel like they make gossip cool. I feel like they make tearing down people cool. I feel like they make misinformation cool. I feel like they make everything else but being a good person, showing love, caring about your community. These things don't go viral because it's not cool. Make this shit cool. Like, that's the only way that we move forward as a society is by making the shit that means something cool.
Absolutely. And I feel like we sat back, not we per se, but we over time as a collective have sat back long enough and have watched it slowly plunder to where, like you said, at one point back in the day, it was cool to uplift. Right. Decades have gone by and it just seemed like it's gotten worse and worse. So where now we support trash. Right. And what we're doing is really kind of fighting an uphill battle, but that's what we're meant for. Right. Clearly God got us on this path for a reason. Right. So that uphill battle will be far worth it once we get to the top and we realize, yo, look, we really made the embodiment of uplifting your brother a thing again. Right. You get what I mean? Yeah, for sure. That joint will be so powerful, bro. For sure. So powerful. Because it's kind of like,
we see it all day on social media, man. We see it all day. A dude talking about, yo, I bust this chick wide open, this, all this, and that. That's going to go viral. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But like something, oh, man. I think that was you. Yeah, that's me. I broke my one rule.
It's all right. My boy popping like that, you know what I mean? During this show, my boy popping, you hear me?
Scooter gonna edit it. Scooter, you better edit this out.
Scooter said, I got you, bro. I got you.
But like I was saying, man, I feel like you'll see a dude on TV or whatever, on YouTube or whatever, Instagram, and he'll be talking about, yo, I bust this chick, I did all this, whatever, all talks of raunchy shit that don't mean nothing. Mm-hmm. But like, will or somebody be pushing out positivity and it's kind of like, nah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nah, like I can't rock with this. I'm gonna just skip over this. But it's kind of like anytime it's something controversy, it's something like terrible, like it doesn't get as much love. That's why for me, I love LaRussell. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love LaRussell because he's changed the game. He talks about positivity. He talks about uplifting. He talks about love. He's doing it from the muscle. The man is having shows in his backyard. He's changed the game. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, yo, why can't we do that? Yeah. Why can't we just help out each other and do things authentically and not piggyback off hate, not piggyback off disrespect, not piggyback off degrading each other, not piggyback off body shaming each other. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that stuff, when we get older, you're going to be like, you know what? So it was for nothing.
And especially because we also know where it comes from. Like, we all know what happens when a generation of people tear each other down.
Right.
We already, especially us as black people, we already know, we are well too far versed into what that experience is of tearing each other down. And it showcases in our cities and it showcases in our environments. Again, we're fighting an uphill battle here just by really doing this and really been doing it for this long and going to keep doing it. So, yeah, I think it's an honorable journey that God has us on. I'm extremely proud of us. And like I said, I think one of the moments to say that we made it, that I'm going to look at you with tears in my eyes, is to know that we booked our first, tour. We're going to be touring around the country in Dallas, Texas. And I'm going to be like, bruh, this is it.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
Yeah.
And even until we get there, just the growing that we have in this page, in this part right here, having guests come in and stuff like that. And the amount of changes that we've had even since I've been here, 9 episodes in, we did, cooking on Thanksgiving upstairs.
Right.
We've been to the Piazza. Like, bruh, come on, man.
Yeah. We've
changing the game,
bro. We've done so much with so little.
So you can only imagine. Wait, let's just take a second.
Yeah.
With barely no funds.
No funds.
We just be switching it up just because we want to switch it up for you guys as well.
Right.
But so you can only imagine.
Yeah.
What? With moves are actually being made?
For
my God.
For sure.
Bro. Yeah.
Nah,
I'm excited,
I completely agree, man. But at the end of the day, like, for me, and this is a tough part for me, is just kind of like, there's no way that somebody could watch this pod and be like, yo, these black brothers are not doing something. They're not speaking on something. They're not trying. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the first part. We out here trying. We out here trying to really uplift this community. We really out here trying, talking about real stuff. We really out here trying to show love and show what, a real, two real black men can do when we actually put our minds to it. We really out here trying. So for people to see this pod and not get that from that and not show that love, and you don't have to, it's fine. I'm not asking you to, but from your core to not do that, hey, I got choice words for that. But
yeah, that's a disservice on you.
Yeah, that's a disservice.
And not to mention that we're doing it in one of the toughest cities to even do it in. Like, ironically, the city of brotherly love. But if you really, everyone at this point knows about Philly. If you're from the East Coast or whatever, I got cousins down south be like, bro, you all right up there?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, all right. I saw some stuff on the news going. I was like, all right. But say what you want, yo. Philly's one of the toughest cities to really make anything happen, and even culturally, you hear about Atlanta. Like, Atlanta rappers build each other up. New York rappers, in their own way, they have their little pack. But Philly rappers, unfortunately, have never. That's one of the things. Philly rappers are some of the most gifted writers and the most talented rappers, but they've never ever seemed to really build one another because it's just a bottom of the barrel type of mentality, crabs in the barrel mentality, unfortunately. So again, not trying to hype us up, but we also doing it in one of the toughest cities. Just we really gonna be outside this summer, talking to the people. Truth, what's the word? Philanthropist. Scoot, cut that out. I hate that word. Philanthropy. We're gonna be true philanthropists, like being out in the streets, helping people in need, but also just interviewing people. Just again, trying to build the community up together where we can start talking to one another again. All that talking in the headphones, or you got your headphones in, you ignoring the person next to you. When somebody could be getting shot next to you or dying next to you, the lack of humanity that we have out here in the city. Like, no, we're going to try to bring this back to where you see somebody in need, you going to want to help.
For sure.
Let's just do this. For sure. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And one thing I'll leave out on, man, the world's a better place when we got each other. That's simple. That's it.
It's all we got is each other, too.
Yeah.
It's all we got.
So.
Well, with that being said, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too, man. Episode 50, man. Come give me some love, brother.
Much love, man. Big 50.
Yeah, episode 50, man. Episode 100 gonna be something crazy.
Oh yeah, we gonna be off the balcony. Wait,
yeah.
We gonna be off the balcony of where? Santorini?
Yeah. Episode 100 gonna be something.
Or do you want to be in the Maldives? You let me know, cuz. You let me know. But episode 100 is gonna be nuts.
Episode 100 gonna be nuts, man. We gonna do big. And one thing I'll leave out on is kind of like, we just gonna keep trying. We just gonna keep fighting for y'all. We gonna keep banging it upside y'all head. And you love it, and you don't, just keep watching.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.
She